Muhyiddin has responded to claims that Bersatu betrayed PAS in Perlis. Meanwhile, a PAS leader has denied that the party nominated Ahmad Samsuri Mokhtar as the next Perikatan Nasional chairperson. Stay tuned for all this and more on KiniNews. Bersatu had its Supreme Council meeting last night. Muhyiddin said that during the meeting, they discussed about him stepping down as PN chief and supported the decision.
The Bersatu Supreme Council has accepted Party President Muhyiddin Yassin's resignation as Perikatan Nasional chairperson. The decision followed a meeting at Bersatu's headquarters last night that lasted more than 4 hours, during which the issue was deliberated. Speaking to reporters after the meeting, Muhyiddin said he had explained the reasons and circumstances behind his decision. He added that the Supreme Council members respected his decision, and when the PN Supreme Council meeting takes place later, the matter will be decided definitely. When asked whether PAS has submitted any names for the PN chairperson position, Muhyiddin said he had yet to receive any. Muhyiddin stepped down as PN chairperson on December 30th, following a crisis in the Perlis state government, which saw relations between PAS and Bersatu become increasingly tense. Since then, speculation has grown over his successor, with PAS asserting its claim to the post but stopping short of naming a candidate.
Muhyiddin also said that Bersatu played no role in sabotaging PAS in Perlis.
Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin has denied claims that his party sabotaged PAS in Perlis. Speaking to reporters after Bersatu Supreme Council meeting last night, Muhyiddin said the party was not involved in the matter. He said Perlis Menteri Besar Bakar Hamzah, who attended the meeting, had briefed members on issues surrounding the crisis that led to the removal of former Menteri Besar Shukri Ramli from PAS. Muhyiddin also stressed that once a decision has been made by His Royal Highness the Raja of Perlis, it is the ruler's absolute prerogative and must be respected. He reiterated that Bersatu played no role in undermining PAS, strongly rejecting allegations of betrayal and maintaining that the party was not involved in any sabotage. Meanwhile, in a statement, Bersatu's Secretary General Azmin Ali said the Supreme Council had affirmed the party's position as a principled, consistent and loyal partner within Perikatan Nasional. Azmin added that the cooperation within PN would continue to be upheld to ensure the coalition's stability and strength heading into the 16th general election. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Still on the topic, a Bersatu Supreme Council member had earlier claimed that PAS picked Samsuri as their candidate for PN chairperson. However, a PAS leader has denied this.
PAS has denied claims that its Vice President Ahmad Samsuri Mokhtar, who is also Terengganu Menteri Besar, has been nominated as the next Perikatan Nasional chairperson. When contacted by Malaysia Kini, PAS Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man described the claim as a rumour. He said the PN Supreme Council has not even held a meeting on the matter and it will only be decided in the PN meeting. When asked if PAS has decided on its candidate, he said not yet. Earlier, Bersatu Supreme Council member Rahim Tambi Chik had claimed that PAS had presented Samsuri's name as the party candidate for the post. In a post on Facebook, Rahim said the candidacy was among the issues discussed during its Supreme Council meeting last night. However, he said the final decision would only be made by the PN Supreme Council in its next meeting. Rahim had since amended the social media post to exclude all details about what Bersatu leaders discussed last night, but it was still visible on Facebook's edit history.
An activist has hit out at Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim after the AGC applied to review a ruling a section of the Peaceful Assembly Act. Here's more on that.
Mandiri Executive Director Amir Hariri Abdul Hadi has questioned Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's commitment to reform. This came after Attorney General's chambers filed a review of the Federal Court's declaration that a provision of the Peaceful Assembly Act 2012 was unconstitutional. In a statement, Amir said that Anwar should stop pretending to care about reforms and imprison protesting activists straight away, if that is what the Premier wants. He stated that the AGC's decision to submit this review is not only a betrayal of the long struggle for reform, but is proof that the promises of reform that have been chanted for so long are nothing but false slogans to gain power. He also said the blame for the decision lies with Anwar, as the AGC falls under the Prime Minister's department. Amir added that the AGC have further requested that the prosecution against him under the PAA be revived. He told Malaysia Kini that he received notice regarding the matter from the AGC in December. In July last year, a 5-member bench led by then Chief Justice Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man delivered a unanimous ruling, deeming Section 9 Bracket 5 of the PAA unconstitutional. Tuan Ibrahim said Section 9 Bracket 5 of the PAA imposes a punishment that exceeds the limits permitted under Article 10 Bracket 1 Bracket B of the Federal Constitution, which guarantees the freedom of speech, assembly, and association. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe.
Akmal said he will abide by Zahid and the Malacca Chief Minister decisions on the positions he currently holds. It was previously reported that Akmal had hinted at stepping down from them.
UMNO Youth Chief Dr. Akmal Saleh says he will abide by the decisions of Party President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi and Malacca Chief Minister Abdul Rauf Yusof on the positions he currently holds. Akmal said both leaders had entrusted him with key responsibilities, selecting him to contest as a Malacca Assembly person and appointing him as a State Executive Councillor. He stated that whatever the outcome, he believes the authority lies with the Malacca Chief Minister, as he chose him as an EXCO member and therefore must comply and also follow what has been said. He added that Zahid, as the UMNO president, also holds authority as a party leader, who selected him to represent the party in the state election. Speaking to reporters yesterday, Akmal said these were the two individuals whose consent and views he must obtain before making any announcement. Meanwhile, in a Facebook post, Akmal said he had conveyed his intentions and heartfelt thoughts to Rauf during a meeting at the Chief Minister's office earlier. He described Rauf as the person who introduced him to UMNO's struggle during his days as a student leader and who had taught him much about leadership and the spirit of political struggle. Akmal thanked Rauf and said he was proud to have served alongside him.
The Court of Appeal has dismissed Najib's bid to reinstate a civil suit against former AG Tommy Thomas.
The Court of Appeal has dismissed former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak's appeal to reinstate a 1.9 million ringgit civil suit against former Attorney General Tommy Thomas. A 3-member bench led by P. Ravindran said that while the court disagreed with the High Court's earlier finding that an Attorney General has immunity against a civil suit, it was correct in finding that Najib's suit was premature. The court also ordered Najib to pay 12,000 ringgit in costs to Thomas. In his civil suit filed in 2020, Najib alleged that Thomas had committed misfeasance in public office when he prosecuted him over charges related to the 1MDB case. The suit against Thomas is over Najib's alleged wrongful prosecution in 4 ongoing criminal cases. The cases are the 2.28 billion ringgit 1MDB corruption case, the 1MDB audit report case, the 6.6 billion ringgit International Petroleum Investment Company criminal breach of trust case, and the 27 million ringgit SRC International money laundering case. However, the High Court struck out the suit on November 25, 2022. The court ruled then that Najib failed to provide evidence that Thomas committed misfeasance in public office, malicious process, and negligence in the 4 court cases. Yesterday, Attorney General Shukri Mokhtar defended the no further action decision on Deputy Prime Minister Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's cases, saying he did not come to the decision lightly. Shukri compared the Attorney General's chamber's decision in Zahid's case with other cases convicted by a lower court but were later reviewed on appeal. He added that further investigations found that the case linked to Yasin Akalbudi has been diluted. Following this, we asked our viewers for their opinion on the matter. Let's take a look at the results. 30% of voters support the decision, saying that it is based on the law and the available evidence. A majority with 64% were skeptical. They said a major case had been dropped, raising questions about justice. Meanwhile, 4% said it may be legally valid, but greater transparency is needed. What are your thoughts on the matter? Share your views in the comments below.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.